Universe and star blessings, everybody. I'm back. Yes, I'm back because I'm feeling inspired, actually, regardless of how intense these energies are. You know, like I was saying in my previous video, it is as energies are building up, you know, as aspects are building up, forming their relationship. In this case, the full moon. There may be things that, you know, that get activated, that suddenly drop into our heart or our consciousness or our awareness, and we realize certain things that are pointing to, for example, with what I'm talking about today, this full moon. And so I've had so many things drop in into my mind and heart and consciousness literally in the last 24 hours, actually, which is why I decided to come back on. And there's a couple of really interesting things that I think are worth speaking to that I didn't speak to in the Capricorn full moon video, not in this way at least anyway. So I'd like to share some of those thoughts with you guys right now. And the process over the last 24 hours things have been dropping in by way of certain engagements that I've had in terms of dialogue with certain individuals, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever, but basically on social media platforms. Some of them are astrologers, some of them are just, you know, regular people. And through that process over the last 24 hours, what I've also been really deeply, you know, sort of reminded of is how incredible my life journey has been, actually, and just how grateful I am for the extraordinary experiences that I've had. You know, I was reminded, for example, there's an astrologer that I know on Instagram, and she posted a picture of herself smoking shisha with a Guns N' Roses t-shirt, and I loved that image. I just thought it was, you know, just an amazing, really cool image. And she posted it relative to the Capricorn full moon, and I just commented underneath and said, you know, wow, what a great image. I really love that. I said something like, I've smoked shisha many times, and, you know, it brings back a lot of memories for me. And that led to a particular dialogue, which I shared some experiences with her, which related to me when I was living in the Middle East, working for a private airline. And, you know, I was flying all over the world. And when you're working in a private airline, it's a very different game, right? You don't have these conservative, strict rules as you do in commercial aviation, i.e., I would sit in the cockpit with the pilots and we would be smoking shisha while they are flying the plane, while we are flying over the pyramids of Egypt, for instance, you know, which we did many times, actually, because I was based in the Middle East. So I had the most extraordinary experiences, you know, being so high, at such a high altitude, you know, in the sky, as close as you're going to get, you know, to the stars, let's say, or to the sky, where I, you know, saw the sun in ways that you'd never see it from, you know, when you are on ground, on land, and stars and the moon, and just, you know, just the sky, just the extraordinary beauty that our eyes can experience, you know, in that particular type of experience. And so I was just reminded of all these extraordinary experiences that I've had, which I know I'm so blessed and so lucky to have had them. And so this full moon, you know, which is, here's the chart, you know, literally for, that was what, 30 minutes ago. So the full moon is just building up at the moment as I sit here and record, you know, this audio. And so, yeah, the last 24 hours, I've been reminded of so many different things that I'm so blessed to have had in my life. And that was just part of a little story. So this full moon, one thing that I forgot to mention that is just when when it dropped into my field in the last 24 hours, I just had like a moment of like, duh, how could I forget to mention this? And it's simply this, that the full moon, which happens on the 29th degree, an anaretic degree, as we know, is the same degree that Pluto is going to go back to in 6 weeks' time. So this full moon, which is the second full moon in Capricorn, right, in the last month, we had the first one at the first degree of Capricorn in Cancer. Then in the middle of that, we had the new moon in Cancer. And now we're having another full moon at the end of Capricorn Cancer. So it's all part and parcel. You can't separate those moons. They're all part of the same puzzle, part of the same picture. And I feel that they are these passages, and especially this particular full moon being at the last degree, it's a very, very stark, sobering, strong reminder or prelude of what is yet to complete when Pluto, for the very last time, gets to that last degree of Capricorn. And so it's really bigger picture, thoughts or memories or reflections, because in a way, it's actually really reflecting on the journey of Pluto in Capricorn the last 16 years. Where, once it completes its final journey this year, then it goes back into Aquarius, and that's it. We move forward into the paradigm of Aquarius, of Pluto in Aquarius. So it's such an intense energy at the moment, because we are all we're all feeling a lot of different things, and there's I think, there's a sea of emotions taking place, and sea is a really good word, because I feel that this Capricorn full moon is the sea goat. In esoteric astrology, Capricorn is viewed very much through the lens of the wise old sea goat, and that's what this energy is. It's really that tipping point, taking us into that field of letting us know, letting us see in no uncertain terms where we have been, where we are, and where we are going, and the responsibility that each of us actually has in this story, in this collective story, and in our personal story. And it's really time for us to grow up. It doesn't matter how old we are. It doesn't matter how experienced we are. It doesn't matter how many experiences we've had. It is time to recognize the cracks that have clearly appeared over a long period of time since 2008. And the intensity, of course, has erupted and been squeezed so hard, the last 4 years, really, more than previously, we could say. So we are at such a profound, point of, we're at a precipice. We are standing here and we are being asked to, respect the sea goat, respect the deep wisdom that we all have actually inside us as well, and that we must actually respect and honor and recognize, right? And discern, the cracks that have appeared, and what the matrix has revealed to us, to take the responsibility to employ the wisdom and to see the truth and to see the role that we have played in all of that, how we may have contributed consciously or unconsciously to the narrative or the narratives of the things that have been unfolding. And the sheer fact that the majority of it has crashed and it will never return. It never can return. And we are really, we are being asked to take responsibility in this new paradigm that is being born. And this is the main message from this full moon in Capricorn, which is conjunct Pluto, right? And basically is at the degree where Pluto will track into in 6 weeks' time. So this is like a massive opportunity, prelude window to recognize all of this in a very fast-tracked manner, right? Because Pluto speaks to evolution collectively, and it speaks to our own personal evolution as well. We can't go back, we can only go forward. The only benefit of looking back, of course, is to identify and recognize and discern and learn, right? That's the benefit of retrospect. But we can't go back to what was, because the matrix has shown us so clearly the falseness of so many different things. And so our duty is to be responsible for what we are going to take moving forward in our own, with our own autonomy, with our own sovereignty, with our own freedom, with our own individuation, with our own individuality, and with our responsibility to making this world, right, into a much better place. You know, that's not going to happen overnight. But these passages do not underestimate the power of the opportunities that they present us in terms of the bigger picture, in how we participate in everything that's going on. Because everything that has been going on and everything that is going on, we have all been a part of that, and we have all either conformed or contributed in some kind of way to everything that has been. And so we are literally at that point now where we are being asked to take that really, that big step, right, of that deep, wise sea goat, right, bring in that wisdom to create the new reality, because it is everything is an aspect of reality, right? And the Capricorn Saturnian energy, it does get a bad rap a lot of the time, and on that very egocentric, exoteric personality level, it is all those things that we know, right? Which is limitations, restrictions, which is control, which is suffocating freedom. You know, it's all those things. But never forget that Capricorn is also the sea goat. So it has that Neptunian, Piscean, divine wisdom about it, you know. And finally, the sea goat is the one that leads with love. A wise leader leads with love. And that's what this Capricorn full moon is speaking to. It's about leading with love. When we lead with love, we must also bring in responsibility. Freedom and responsibility go hand in hand. One cannot actually take place without the other. And that's the beautiful, deep, mystical wisdom of the sea goat. And that's what it's pointing to in this window, in this full moon, right now, literally a couple of hours away. So, and also the Sabian symbol, I find, you know, just remarkable, actually. And I'd like to read it to you. And I haven't coughed. Touch wood. Where are we? Go to 30, where are you? Capricorn, just bear with me, guys. This book has fallen apart. I've had it for 25 years. And the writing is so damn small. Um, Here we go. So the Sabian symbol for this Capricorn full moon, and make of it what you will, the heading is a secret meeting of men responsible for executive decisions in world affairs. I mean, that obviously speaks so strongly to the United States of America at the moment, right? With the absolute mayhem that is taking place there. The keynote is the power to assume responsibility for crucial choices arrived at after mature discussions with those who share this power. Now, we know those in those systems, have played their part and have played their games and so on and so forth. And we cannot place our blind faith and hope in the hands of those individuals to lead with love. It is we, the people, that will do that. But we must also be very wise with the choices that we make, in the influence that we have over the so-called powers that play a hand in this third dimension reality. People forget how much power humanity has as a human family. If every single soul awoke to the truth of their own divine power, the entire game would crash in a split second. The only reason the game is still being played out is because of the conformity and the coercion and the deception and the manipulation that continues. And so we cannot blame anybody for that. All we can do is awaken to what is actually taking place and be responsible for what we choose to do, what we choose to think, what we choose to participate in, what we choose to support. So even the Sabian symbol, that a secret meeting of men responsible for executive decisions in world affairs, we can actually connect that to ourselves as well. We can connect that to ourselves from the point of view of us as human beings, as humanity coming together, being responsible and bringing in the wisdom with what we do in how we move forward. Every single voice matters. Every single decision matters. Everything that we do matters. It all has a rippling effect. So I just wanted to share those final reflections that I've had over the last 24 hours, which have, as I said at the beginning, I feel very inspired, even though I feel intensely emotional as well. But it's not a bad, intense emotion, for lack of a better word. I don't like to use simple language like good or bad, because I don't really believe in good or bad. I believe in opportunity, and I believe in learning and growth. And I believe that everything that we do and everything that we experience is only there to teach us, as long as we can learn from it and recognize the teacher within ourselves, because we all have the teacher within. Saturn is in your chart. Saturn is in everyone's chart. Saturn is the master teacher. And this Capricorn full moon just highlights exactly that. So, sending you all positive, inspiring full moon vibes. I hope this inspires you to, just to drop into this full moon energy from a level that's going to be you know, really truthful and constructive, you know, and positive as well. You know, it's the sea goat. Just tune into the sea goat. Once you do that, everything changes. It changes within you. And nothing can change out there until it changes within us. We all know that, right? And I was listening to the song by David Bowie called Moonage Daydream. I love that song. Someone actually, another astrologer posted it on Instagram relative to this full moon, and I loved the art that she put in with this song in the background. And it was a picture of the sea goat with this song playing in the background, and then she wrote a few comments about this Capricorn full moon, which also reflected certain things that I've just shared with you guys today as well, to some extent. But I loved this song. I thought it was, what a great song to be associated to the wisdom of the sea goat. And if you look at the lyrics, they're pretty tricky, and I think they're quite cryptic. I think you need to read between the lines, as it were. And of course, David Bowie was an old, wise sea goat. He was a Capricorn. So Venus and star blessings to all of you. See you very, very soon.